And you're live.
Hey, what's up guys? How are you doing? Welcome to my garden. We couldn't be bothered going all the way to the park today, so we're just going to hang out here. Kira came in the back gate though, by the way.
Social distancing.
So today we're going to do a quick circuit, very easy peasy, lots of stuff that you find around the house. I'm just going to talk a little bit quickly about the equipment beforehand, because a lot of times we get people coming in the club and they're borrowing the club gloves and they don't have wraps, they don't have the proper equipment. Especially now with all of the stuff that's going on, it's really important that you all have your own gear. So I'm just going to go through one or two things that are really must-haves. So the first is a pair of wraps. So this is just a piece of material. Now again, this stuff is for the beginners, the absolute beginners, okay? I know a lot of people out there already know this stuff, but this isn't for you. This is for the people that maybe haven't had it explained in black and white. When I was first starting out, nobody actually just sat me down and told me bluntly the basics. So this is for you guys, okay? So this is a wrap. It's just a piece of material and it goes around your wrists and your knuckles, and basically it's to protect your hands. The gloves are to protect your hands as well, but also these are going to protect your hands and your wrist. So I'm not going to go through how to put them on. There's lots of videos on YouTube showing you that kind of stuff, but basically the purpose of this is to give support to your wrist and to hold your knuckles in place to keep them nice and firm. If you're punching something over and over and over and over and over, it's going to impact your wrist and you end up with damaging your wrist. You should be able to box for your whole life and never have any issues with your wrists. That with warming up. So you wrap your hands up first before you put them in your glove, and that gives you a nice foundation. Also, it means you can take your gloves off and do some exercises on the bags without gloves. The next thing obviously is gloves. Now there's millions of different types of gloves that you can get. There's professional gloves, amateur gloves, bag gloves, different sizes of gloves. For someone who's just starting out, there's no need to go out and buy a ridiculously expensive pair of gloves. But I will say that the more you spend, you do get what you pay for. If you go out and buy a pair of gloves for 10 euros, 20 euros, it's going to fall to pieces and you'll end up buying a new pair very rapidly. So I would recommend going out, spend 50 quid up to 100, 50 and 100 is a good bracket for people if they want a good pair of gloves that's going to last a long time. If you get a decent pair of gloves that fits well, you spend a bit of money on it, get the leather ones that you use for training and you take care of them, they'll last forever. I've had these for years now. I only ever use them for sparring, so they've had a bit of a... Now I use them for bags since I don't do much of that anymore, but a good pair of gloves will last you forever. Also, there's different sizes. A lot of people don't know what that means. So these are 16 ounce, these are for sparring. The higher the ounce, it means how much padding there is in the top of the glove there. So if you have an 18 ounce glove, it's going to be even more full of foam, it's going to be fatter, it's going to be softer on your opponent. If you have a low ounce glove, like a 12 or a 10, that's going to be very thin, it's going to be less protection for your hands, but also less protection for your opponent. So that's what that number means. For anyone that's just training, starting out, I would recommend 16, you could even go down to 12 if you want, depending on the size of your hand as well. Okay, so that's that. The other thing is a tennis ball. May seem very trivial, but this is a must-have as well. I always carry one of these in my bag. They're really handy for any exercises. The one that we were doing the other day, bouncing with hand-eye coordination. This one's not very bouncy because my dog's been chewing it. But just bouncing, doing exercises like this to get used to your hand going where you want it to. Throwing it up and catching it. You can chuck it at people and do exercises. Very handy. Doesn't cost much money. And then the other thing is a skipping rope. Kira lent me hers because mine is an absolute bits. So
and that's not the world's greatest skipping rope, but it'll do.
But it's better than mine. So these are really handy. I mean, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but I read somewhere that 10 minutes of skipping is the equivalent to 30 minutes of running in terms of getting your heart rate up. It is very tough. Again, going back to the absolute basics for people, because I took someone skipping recently and I just assumed that they would know how to skip. And then when I saw them trying it, I felt really terrible because they were finding it really difficult, basically. So don't let it put you off if you haven't skipped before, or you don't know how to skip, or you think it looks stupid. It can be really fun. Once you get good at it and once you get the hang of it, it's really satisfying. It's fun. I could skip for an hour and not get bored. In fact, I have done. It's also an incredible way to warm up and get your heart rate up. So I'm just going to show you very quickly how to do some basic skipping. Now, seriously, this may seem trivial, but I'm going to go right down. If you don't know how to skip, you all know how to jump. Everyone can jump up and down in the air. Most of us, I can anyway, so that's what you can do. So in the beginning, just do this. Flip it over to the front and jump over it. That's all you need to do to start. That's really easy. Flip it over, jump. Just get used to that feeling. Once you've done that a few times and you get used to it,
Then you drop the
then
rope
you drop it.
so many
Then
times.
try and flip it over and jump it in one go. So just try and do that. Don't worry about going over again, just try one at a time to start with. I'll do it this way so I can do it. Jump, that's it, okay? Jump, that's it. Once you get the hang of that, and you can do that a little bit, try and get an extra jump in the middle. So I'm just jumping over it once, and then I'm jumping an extra one in the middle just to get the momentum up, and then I'm jumping a third time. Once you've done that, you can try skipping with 2 feet like this, and then as you get used to it, you can try hopping from side to side. Okay, you can put 1 foot out, you can do the crisscrosses, doubles, whatever you want. And as you get better, there's so much stuff you can do with it.
And you get fancy and fast.
You get faster and faster and faster. It's a really great tool to have. It fits anywhere, it doesn't weigh anything. You can take it anywhere, in the park, in the house, providing you have high ceilings. It's great. So we're going to use this today for part of our circuit. This circuit's going to be very rapid. I'm just using stuff that's lying around. You can amend it how you like, as always. So what we're going to do is a 4-minute round, 30 seconds on each exercise, and then without stopping, we're going to go into a 2-minute round of skipping. Then we're going to have a rest, okay? And then based on your level of ability, you can either do that again and again and again, or you can extend the skipping part of it, okay? So we're going to get cracking. Obviously you've all done your warm-ups before we get to this stage, so we're not going to run through that. You can check the previous video for that kind of stuff. So here I have a chair that I just found lying around. I have these bricks from when I was building the pizza oven base there, left over. If you don't have them, you can use anything that's heavy enough. It's going to be leg dips. Make sure you've got a chair dipping down like that, okay? Nice and easy. Second one, we're just going to use this brick. We're going to bend over back straight. Just lift the brick straight up and straight down, okay? Third one, sit-ups. Everyone knows how to do them. The fourth one is punches with dumbbells. Now I'm using dumbbells because I have them. They're very light. If you don't have them, you can use a tin of beans, okay? It's the same thing. Just something to put a bit of weight on your arms. I'm going to use these, okay? Fourth one, I'm going to use the pizza oven base here. So, now I'm going to use this. If you have a chin-up bar, you can hang on that and do the same thing, but it's basically leg lifts. Okay, up, 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 nice and easy. The fourth one, now this is an elastic band. They're very cheap. If you don't have one of these, you can just amend it with any other exercise that you want. Push-ups would do, but for me, I'm going to hop forward, punch. Bit of resistance on them. You can also do these, or these. Okay. Fifth one. This is just basically, you can either do steps up like this. Okay. So I'm pushing up, and then I'm swapping, pushing up, and I'm swapping, pushing up. If you have a few other things lying around the house and you can't stand on it, you can also do hops. Okay, or you can hop over it. Okay. 5. This one here, I'm just going to do push-ups on it. I'm going to elevate my feet to make it a bit harder. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, Once we finish the 8, I'm going to grab the skipping rope and we're going to go straight into skipping solidly, however you like, for 2 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to use the timer on my phone, which is a round timer. I already have it set, so it's going to ding when it's time to go. And I'm going to do 1 round, and then I'm going to let you guys carry on your own, okay? So here we go, ready? First station. Dips. Now I've given myself 10 seconds to get from station to station. Okay. Next one's lifts. Again, if you don't have any giant bricks lying around your house, you can use absolutely anything for this. If you have kids, you can probably do it with one of them. If you have dumbbells or kettlebells, you could also do the swings. Don't forget to breathe on your wrists. You can also use a chair for this as well, but make sure it's nice and sturdy.
Or your kitchen counter.
Or your kitchen counter. I do not hold any responsibilities for any injuries caused.
All participation is elective. You throw a few punches, like we did the other day, opposite hand, opposite foot. Okay, that's 8. 8 stations, straight away. Grab your skipping rope. If you don't have one of these, you can run on the spot. Just keep your knees up. Okay, so that's basically it. That's a good circuit. It's only about 10 minutes long each round. So if you do 3 rounds, that's a half an hour workout. It's enough to get your heart rate up. So I'll leave it there. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time, okay?